Hi, my name is Jessica Henning, and today I want to share a little bit about my story so you kind of hear a little bit of who I am, and I hope that it can be an encouragement to you. And then also, of course, I want to share a song with you. So basically, from the moment I was born, I have always been a shy person. So doing stuff like this is very vulnerable for me. I remember one of my very distinct memories when I was in preschool, my preschool graduation. I remember we had to walk down the aisle and be obviously in front of all these people. And that was the very first time in my life that my face, I could feel, turned into a tomato or a lobster, a very hot lobster. And I remember putting my hands on my face, trying to cool my face down. That was my first experience realizing, at least that I remember, realizing that I was not comfortable being in front of people, and I would rather just hide and be in a corner. And funny thing is, from then on out, I have tried to learn how to control that and try not to turn into a tomato. But funny thing is that after becoming a Christian and following Jesus, I have learned that God uses me regardless of those things. And so that's what I want to encourage you today, is just no matter what the world says about you or what you think about yourself, that God is, like, He knows your potential, and He, even if you think, like for me, it was like, since I'm shy and introverted and all these things that I would never think that I would do this, that, and the other. I would never be in front of people like a lot of people. I would never do all these things, and yet funny thing is I have, and it's not on my own strength. I can tell you I can't do these things. Like literally I would fail every time. I still fail a little, but God is with me and God gives me the strength. And so, from my life, from that preschool incident up until now, God has called me to do so many different things. I signed up to speak at my own high school graduation, and there were 300 students, times out by parents and grandparents and siblings and all that. And I literally look back at that moment. I'm like, how in the heck did I do that? God, literally, I don't get any credit. God has called me to lead worship. I remember this exact moment when I was at a church camp, and God called me. I know this distinct moment. I didn't understand it then, but I see it now, how God called me to lead worship. I literally didn't know how to play guitar, and I didn't even know I could sing. And literally that next I don't know how many months after, my youth minister started teaching me guitar, and from just playing music, I started singing. I'm shy, so I never opened my mouth. I never thought, oh no, I just thought I was just terrible. And I'm not saying I'm the most amazing thing ever. I know I'm not like Ariana Grande or Aretha Franklin or anything, but I opened my mouth and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not tone deaf. And then God's led me into just different opportunities of using those skills and different things that I was practicing and learning, and realizing that I wasn't terrible at, that He started using me in those ways when I just said yes. I don't understand how this is going to work out, but okay, and I'm nervous as heck, but okay, I just started saying yes. And I've since led worship at my campus, my university campus, and then God has sent me to Honduras 4 different times. I went to language school and lived with a host family completely by myself for a month, and then I went on a missionary internship at an orphanage for a month, and then I led the mission team that last year by myself as a college student. Create leadership positions like crazy. And then God placed me in a resident assistant position, a resident director position, all these leadership positions, and I'm like, my inside I'm like, I just want to be hidden, and like I'm fine, I'm comfortable that way. But God knows my potential, and he knows your potential, and just all these crazy things. And then now he's placed me in this position in ministry, leading missions and outreach for a congregation. And then he has called me to share like a message here and there. I just preached like a couple weeks ago, which again, crazy, couldn't have done it on my own. And now I've been asked to preach more. And I'm just like, guys, if you knew me, you would understand that I wouldn't ever do that on my own. And so I just want to share with you how amazing God is, and the goodness of God, and just how he can take whatever you think that is like your weakness, or whatever the heck, is a part of your life, and he's going to use it for your glory. And because of this, I hope that you can see just in my story, in my life, that God is so good, and that he has an amazing plan for your life. And if you don't know that God loves you, I want you to know firsthand that God loves you. So please hear that. So I want to share this song with you called Goodness of God. And it's absolutely wonderful, and it just, for me, it just speaks to me that literally all my life, God has been faithful, and God has been so good, and he has just brought me through so many different things. And if it wasn't for him in my life, I wouldn't have the strength to do all these things. I wouldn't be able to do any of this. So I hope that you hear Jesus through all of this. So thank you for listening, and like this if you like it. You, Lord, oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Voice, you have led me through the fire and darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend. I have lived in the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running out. So, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God.